Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe.
Holy shit. Episode 5. What can I say? There was good. There was bad. I mean really, really, really bad. You know, I wouldn't say the ideas are bad. Just more so how they were executed. Now, when I watched this Obi-Wan and Anakin fight, my nostalgia was taking over my body. I was so fucking happy to see this fight. I was like, wow. They said they're bringing back Hayden Christensen. We've been waiting this whole time to finally see him on screen, besides that little peek we had in episode 2. But actually see him and make use of him. And then when you look a little closer, when the nostalgia weared off and I watched it for the 3rd or 4th time, and I look and I'm like, God damn. The de-aging they used on him is awful. Like, laughably awful. It really confuses me because in Mandalorian season finale, we saw Luke, and that was pretty bad in my opinion. And this looks even worse than that, and you would think they would put more money into a beloved character like Obi-Wan rather than putting it into the Mandalorian, but what the fuck do I know? I also had a really big problem with them having 2 ships. I watched this scene, I kid you not, like 10 times. I kept rewinding, kept rewinding, kept rewinding, kept rewinding to try and see if I could see it and be like, where the hell is the second ship? I did not see a second ship behind it. I don't know if you guys did. And then on top of that, the fact that he pulled down the first one, it looked like pretty easy. Of course, the CGI was really bad when it was trying to come back down. But he's ripping off the doors, rips off 2 different sides of it, walks towards it, and he sees it's empty. Then the other one gets up and takes off. Why the fuck didn't he pull down the other one? If, you know, this doesn't make sense to me. It was just kind of like in episode 3 when Vader just stood there and like pretty much watched the big droid come and take Kenobi from the other side of the fire, as if he couldn't easily force pull him through the fire and just take him if he really wanted to. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, why would he just go through all this shit to just watch him get away? Literally, let him get away and watch. It doesn't make sense to me. Same with this. Why'd you go through this whole hassle to literally watch him get away instead of pulling down the ship like you did with the other ones? It doesn't make sense to me. Another thing that I thought was pretty piss poor writing was when Talia, I don't know how to say her name, I think it's Talia, was standing there and on the ground she had the robot in front of her. Obi-Wan standing there fighting off fucking clone troopers. 2 clone troopers! And he has a lightsaber. I know we can say, oh, he has been using the Force. Oh, fuck you, fuck you. He was deflecting the hell out of the bullets. He had some type of fucking common sense on what the fuck was going on. Not like he was a bum with a fucking stick. He had his lightsaber. He was fighting the stormtroopers. Why didn't he force pull her and bring her in and then close the door? That didn't make sense. I'm watching. I'm like, what the fuck? The lady had no reason to die. And if she was going to blow herself up with the bomb, like sacrifice herself, why the fuck didn't she throw it towards the only Jedi in the room? Why did she just hold? I don't know. Me watching that shit, I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, what the fuck? What's the point of sacrificing yourself if you're not even going to get the actual mission? Like, you killed like 8 stormtroopers? You might as well have just thrown the shit. He could have force pulled you in. There were so many different ways this scene could have went. And the approach that they took, I was not a big fan of. Now on to my favorite part of the episode, the Reva fight. Now, I could say that I saw this coming from a mile away because I did. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I talked to my homies about it at work and I was like, yo, there's no fucking way in hell that she's actually evil. She was too strong on Kenobi and there was something, had to have been a backstory. And it turns out there was. So, maybe you guys can break this down in the comments. I could not really fully understand what she was trying to explain. So, did she get stabbed as a kid? And then she said that she hid that, you know, she said that she had hid under people's bodies and watched other people die. And then she said that she survived. I was confused if she got stabbed as a kid and survived, or if she actually just hid and survived that way. So she ends up being technically a good person, or a good guy, good girl on the light side of the Force, but has done all this other shit to be considered the bad side of the Force and killed people and done all this shit of killing, you know, good Jedi. It didn't make sense to me. I was like, okay, bit of a stretch. I didn't see it working out that way. I think the Vader fight was very good. I like that he didn't even have to pull out his lightsaber, because if they would have even made her give him any type of run for his money or even to any type of challenge, I would have been like, I would have just immediately called BS, because he's thousands and thousands of miles ahead of her in strength and power and XP, and I said XP, in the whole 9 yards. So I thought that was cool. He was deflecting the shit with the force, and then he actually ripped the shit in half and gave her half. But what I don't understand, oh my goodness, why did they do this? Why did he stab her and then let her live, just walk away? He's like, and if she did survive the first stabbing, why the hell did he let her survive a second stabbing? I'm like, this makes no fucking sense to me, man. It makes no sense. So he walks away, lets her survive the first stabbing, and then lets her survive a second stabbing, and she just so happens to pick up this message that was not encrypted for Obi-Wan Kenobi that guy just so happened to drop. And I have conspiracy that guy is actually a bad guy. The one that dropped it, the one that was being a fake Jedi in episode 1 or episode 2, and he was using the magnets, I feel like he's actually a bad guy, because I feel like, I don't know, man, just the vibe that I'm getting that he's secretly a bad guy. I don't know, because I feel like she's killed everybody. Why didn't she kill him when she had read his mind to see where Kenobi was? I feel like she would have just stabbed him immediately. I don't know why she left him. I don't know. There's something. I could be wrong. We will see on Tuesday, but I feel like he was a bad guy. On top of that, I don't know, man. Him dropping that, her grabbing it, and now I feel like episode 6 is she going to be now trying to go get Luke? I mean, this whole the whole purpose of the show, I was expecting, everybody I know was expecting that's watching the show was, it's going to be like Obi-Wan protecting Luke and going crazy. And they say that's why he aged so badly between episode 3 and 4. Because it's only, 20-year time difference? But he aged so badly. If you watch episode 3 and watch episode 4, he looks like a fucking old as shit. And they say it was because he was going crazy all night, watching over Luke, by himself, not talking to nobody, no human interaction, fighting off Tusken Raiders. But instead it's like his whole purpose was to watch Luke. First episode, he leaves Luke. Now, I'm getting on to other episodes, and I wanted to make a completely separate video for that, but I wanted to bring up the point. Why the hell did he bury the lightsabers? Why? Somebody explain that to me. Why the fuck did he bury the lightsabers? That made no sense. It also didn't make sense that Princess Leia gets stolen, and her dad calls Obi-Wan to rescue her. Instead of hitting up anybody in the world, and he has all this money to hire all these guards, he hits up Obi-Wan, who he knows hasn't been training in the Force for the past 10 years. So that didn't make sense to me. And yeah, I don't understand when Reva put Lola and made her a bad robot and made the eyes go red. I don't know why it took her so long to notice the eyes were red, and it was like, wah, 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 screaming around all over the place. That was a big, to me, I was like, I don't know, that was kind of poorly written. I thought that was kind of like, I was like, that was forced in there. Just like it was forced when they drove off in episode 4, which I think was the absolute most dog shit episode. And I will make another video about that, because episode 4 requires like a fucking 6-hour video on itself of how bad it was. The main thing, I think the worst part about that episode was at the end when the fighters take off, the fighters just take off, and they have that little box go and destroy the one behind Obi-Wan. And it's like you had a whole another box of 40, 50 other ones sitting in there. If you wanted Obi-Wan dead that bad, why didn't you just send it and blow up that ship as well? It didn't make sense to me, man. I don't know. That didn't make sense to me. Like I said, it didn't make sense to me that he didn't force pull her in. It didn't make sense to me that there was a second ship and Darth Vader didn't pull down the second ship. It didn't make sense that, I guess the reason that the other Inquisitor lived is because they have 2 stomachs, and he was in Rebels, so we knew he wasn't actually dead. But I wish they would have at least showed like what the hell happened. I know they have 2 stomachs, but if you get stabbed, the second stomach comes to life or something. I don't know how that shit happens. He was left there. Did he just wake up and recover after his second stomach fully took over his first stomach? Like, I wish they would have kind of showed that. Like, did he call Darth Vader? Did he hit up somebody? Did Darth Vader know that before he made her his sidekick? Like, I don't know. There were so many different things. And then my biggest plot hole, and this is for the whole series, this isn't episode 1 through 5 specific, is there's so much focus on Princess Leia throughout this show. But when we see her in the other Star Wars movies, I'm trying to think of the word, not prequel. God damn it, I'm having a brain fart. When we see her in the other movies, she doesn't know who the hell Ben Kenobi is. But she spent, like, if they had one small interaction, of course, there's people that I've met that are my family's friends, parents' friends, when I was a kid, one interaction, they're like, oh, you met her when you were 7. Oh, I have no idea who the fuck that is. But if I met them 15, 20 times. Got my life saved by them multiple times. He saved her life multiple times. You would think that she would remember something, but it seems like she doesn't remember anything at all, because we see in the, not the prequels, the sequels, we've seen the sequels that she does not know anything about Obi-Wan. So there's just so many plot holes. Everybody's assuming that we are going to see another Darth Vader Obi-Wan fight. I'm hoping that we do, because as we all know the line, when I left you, I was once the learner, now I'm the master. And unless that they're considering that as him, you know, what we just saw in the last episode, in episode 5, as trying to turn Reva against Darth Vader, as that being the master or whatever. Who knows? I'm hoping that we see a good fight, and I'm hoping we see a very, very good fight. I thought the episode 3 fight was good for the time being, but I think there was a lot of different, I don't know, man. I think how slow Vader was swinging was like really, he was swinging with a lot of force and a lot of strength, but he was swinging so goddamn slow, man. It was almost hard to watch. It was like, goddamn, I know that he's in this suit and his mobility is lowered and everything, but I don't know. They could have made that so much better. Episode 5, if I had to rate this, when I watched it the first time of nostalgia and fucking fanboyness, I gave it like a solid 8.5, 9. After I watched it a couple times and I saw all the flaws and all the weird different things, and especially the de-aging of Anakin Skywalker, I thought that de-aging was very bad. But it was cool to see them, because I was wondering, I'm like, why the hell have they talked about so much, we're bringing Hayden Christensen, and we didn't really see him in those scenes. I think we saw his face in episode 2, but that was it, man. And yeah, this is my first Star Wars video ever, so yeah, I did a lot of rambling, man. I'm going to get better at this as time goes in and as I produce more of these, but yeah, that was really all I'm going to say. What did you guys like about the episode? What did you guys didn't like? Comment down below, let me know. Let's have a conversation about it, and let's talk some Star Wars. Let's get ready for episode 6 together. Other than that, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy Pizza Maker 8000. I'm out.